Perfect.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is Rod Murray, and thank you for watching another episode of What's the Game Plan. Today, I'm joined for a division rivalry game between the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings. I am joined by Justin, who will be representing the Minnesota Vikings, and Trevor, who will be representing the Detroit Lions. How are we doing, gentlemen?
Good. Just hoping that that we can get another dub, hopefully on Sunday, and hopefully in this little interaction today. So we'll see how it goes.
I'm doing well. Like I said, Lions disappointed me a little bit last week. We're ready to bounce back this week, hopefully. So I'm looking forward to it, and I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, man, it's a division game, man. So they're always toss-ups, man. You got to love it up north. Unfortunately, we don't know if Matthew Stafford's playing right now. I think they say he is with the he's on the reserve COVID listing. So I mean, this could really be all for naught if we're dealing with Chase Daniels. To be honest with you, Trevor, but we will go through this all the same. So if you watch the show, you know the rules here. We do 4-round question and fast rounds. Pull these questions from all data analytical sites: Pro Football Reference, Pro Football Focus, Sharps Football Stats, or Next Gen Stats. And we quiz our opponents on questions about their opposing team. All right, we do this for 4 rounds. In the event that it is tied, at the end of that, we go on what we call overtime, where the opponents will have one opportunity to choose a question between 1 through 3, and the degree of difficulty raises with the more points they want to wager. All right, are there any questions?
Ready to go, sir.
I'm all set.
There we go. Trevor, as the visiting team, you can decide whether or not you want to get the ball first to kick off and let Justin take the first go.
I'm gonna let Justin take his first crack at it.
I love it,
All
man.
right.
Defense is sometimes the best offense, so we'll see what we got here. Justin up first. What's the game plan? In 19 games versus the Vikings, quarterback Matthew Stafford is 8-11, averaging 246 yards, about a touchdown and a half, and half of an interception in all those games. What percentage does Pro Football Focus give quarterback Matthew Stafford to eclipse 300 yards on Sunday? Is it A, 35%, B, 28%, C, 39%, or D, 24%?
I don't know, against this young Viking secondary, especially since we're pretty hurt there. I'm gonna guess D.
He's going to take D, 24%, and he will be wrong, ladies and gentlemen. They are giving him a 35% chance to eclipse 300 yards on Sunday. I thought you were heading that direction when you said that defense.
I must have
young.
had my letters mixed up there. My bad. I meant to do one of the higher ones. So that was my bad there.
Oh yeah, so it was C was 39.
Ah, shoot. Okay. Yep.
That's what you was going to hit?
Yeah, that's okay though.
Trying to throw the challenge flag there. That must be the first time. And it did not work. So in all of his games, again, in his 19 games he's played, he's only eclipsed 300 yards 5 times. So Pro Football Focus must know something we don't, because they're giving him a high opportunity to do that. So we shall see. All right, so Justin fails to put up any points in the first quarter. Let's see if Trevor can jump out the gate here with a 7-0 lead. Trevor, your question. Running back Dalvin Cook is coming off a monster game with 4 touchdowns, and he is currently second in the league in rushing behind Derrick Henry. Sharp Football Stats has him rushing his yards per carry, averaging about 3.5 yards per carry. Directionally speaking, in what direction is he having the most success? Now we're looking at the offensive line. Behind the right guard, behind the right tackle, off tackle left, or behind the left guard? Directionally speaking, where is he having the most success running the ball?
Yeah, I know that he had those 4 touchdowns last week. I faced him in fantasy and just got demolished. I'm gonna say he's getting his most success behind the right guard.
Takes A, and he is wrong, ladies and gentlemen. The answer is C, off tackle left. In that direction, he has 16 rushes for 118 yards, and 3 of those rushes are for 10 or more yards. All right. It also has a 63% success rate when he runs off tackle left. So might be something that the Vikings are keying on this upcoming Sunday, because he is currently riding a wave that I'm sure Minnesota is going to continue to ride with Kirk Cousins struggling as he has. Just leave it at
Yes,
that.
absolutely. Jeez, man.
Going into the second quarter, Justin and Trevor both failed to put up any points here. Justin, your second question. The Detroit Lions currently have 3 running backs that all are averaging over 3 yards per carry, led by Adrian Peterson. However, they are one of the 6 teams that are averaging less than 100 yards per carry. 100 yards per game. I do apologize. According to Next Gen Stats, what is the percentage of time that Adrian Peterson sees 8 or more defenders in the box? How many times is 8 or more defenders in the box? Is it A, 20.5%, B, 26%, C, 26.5%, or D, 31.3%?
I'm gonna go with C. I imagine that they're loading the box a little bit more against AP still because he's still got some legs on him. So I'm gonna go with C.
Justin goes with 26.5%. And again, he is wrong. The answer is, in fact, 25.8% B, right? He is currently with 85 attempts or 321 yards. As a Washington fan, was very upset when we let him go this past offseason. But as we all know, Adrian Peterson is like the ageless wonder. He is still very effective and definitely it's hard to take down. So I'm sure you guys are going to load the box as well this upcoming Sunday. And we'll see if you are a lot more better than some other teams have been at stopping him. We'll see. All right.
So.
Trevor still has the opportunity here before halftime to take a 7-0 lead. Let's see what he does. Quarterback Kirk Cousins has seen his struggles in recent weeks. In the last 5 games, he has thrown 6 interceptions with right under 70% completion rate. According to Next Gen Stats, what is Kirk Cousins' aggressiveness rate percentage? And his aggressiveness rate is how many times is he trying to throw when there are 2 or more defenders around a targeted wide receiver, right? So basically, how often is he trying to squeeze it in some areas that he probably should just check down? Is it A, 20.3%, B, 19.6%, C, 17.9%, or D, 22.4%?
I'm gonna go with A. I think it's not all the time, but like you said, probably a few more times than he should. I'm gonna go with A.
Trevor takes A, and he is wrong, ladies and gentlemen. The answer is, in fact, B. 19.6% of the time is his aggressiveness. That's 4th worst in the league. 4th worst. All right. So we know what Kirk Cousins, I know again from experience, all those years in Washington, what he tries to do is sometimes, and unfortunately, it never works out for him, as you have seen the last couple of weeks. All right.
Yeah.
So going into halftime here, we have a scoreless game here. Let's see if both the participants can pick it up in the second half. Trevor, we will flip sides. So now you will take the first question in the third quarter. Here we go. The Minnesota Vikings defense is allowing a 3rd worst 288 passing yards per game in the league, giving up a lot of yards in the air. All right. Which Vikings defender, according to Pro Football Reference, when targeted, is giving up the highest quarterback rating? When targeted, giving up the highest quarterback rating. Is it A, free safety Anthony Harris, B, cornerback Mike Hughes, C, cornerback Jeff Gladney, D, linebacker Eric Kendricks?
I think I'm gonna go with Mike Hughes, which I believe was answer B.
At the right position, but the wrong person. The answer is, in fact, C, cornerback Jeff Gladney, giving up 30 receptions on 42 targets for almost 400 yards and 5 touchdowns. All right.
Rough.
So
Wow.
it's been rough for Jeff this past season, but again, it's still early. Maybe he could turn it around. All right. Trevor here still hasn't put up any points. Maybe Justin could jump out here and put some on. Let's see.
We got to get on the board. Let's go.
Got to get on the board. Got to get on the board, gentlemen. Here we go. Justin, your third question. The Detroit offense is currently averaging 7.9 points in the first quarter of their games this season, according to TeamRankings.com. They are averaging 25.3 points total overall over the course of the game, which is around middle of the pack. According to Sharps football stats, during the first quarter, what is the Lions' overall successful play rate? Is it A, 51%, B, 41%, C, 45%, or D, 48%, the successful play rate in the first quarter?
I'm going to go with C. I think that was 45%.
The third quarter, we still have a scoreless game, ladies and gentlemen. The answer is, in fact, D, 48%.
Oh.
When they pass the ball in the first quarter, they have a 53% success rate. When they run the ball in the first quarter, they have a 43% success rate. So right there, 48 overall in the first quarter. We both know with Matthew Stafford, they like to throw a little bit more, and I'm sure they'll do that on Sunday to establish that, to help them out, to get them going. But unfortunately, guys, we're headed into the fourth quarter here. We still have a scoreless game. Let's see if the teams can get on the board here, or are we going to overtime, ladies and gentlemen? Here we go. Trevor, here we go. Your fourth question. According to NFLpenalties.com, how many penalties do the Vikings have when they are on the road this season? Is it A, 23, B, 15, C, 19, or D, 11?
I'm going to go with A, 23.
Hey, man, they don't call Trevor Clutch for nothing, because the answer is, in fact, A, 23. Yes, it is. They have 43 total as a team. 23 of those are on the road. So they are a little less disciplined on the road. We know this is a division rivalry game. Emotions are going to be high. And with both these teams struggling offensively, who knows? Unsportsmanlike conduct here or there may turn the game around. 15 yards can be big. So we'll see if that plays any factor in this game. But in today's game, Justin, it's on you. Down 7-0 right now in the fourth quarter. Can Kirk Cousins pull something out and force overtime? Here we go. The Detroit Lions defense is currently top 10 in the league in yards allowed so far this season. According to Sharp's football stats, their 10% explosive play rate, and that's essentially any running play that's over 10 yards or any passing play that's over 15 yards, all right? They are allowing, is currently middle of the pack. So they are allowing teams an overall 10% explosive play rate throughout this season so far, all right? On which down are they allowing the most success? Is it A, first down, B, second down, C, third down, or D, fourth down? So force overtime.
Ooh, oh, this is actually a tough one. I'm gonna say B, second down, is where they're giving up the most explosive plays.
Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, the answer is wrong.
Oh.
And Trevor will win the game because the answer is, in fact, A, first down. On first down, they are giving up the most explosive plays with 18 so far. So, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, we have a 7-0 victory by Trevor and the Detroit Lions. The floor is now yours, sir, for a victory speech.
Well, I am glad that representing the Lions, I can secure a victory today, because I am not confident about the Lions' ability to do so tomorrow. I think, from what I'm hearing, it's likely Matthew Stafford will be good to go. But even in that case, the Lions' run defense was terrible to start the year, and then it looked like they figured something out. And then last week they gave up 89 yards to a guy that had 2 carries in the 2 previous weeks before. And Dalvin Cook, coming off a game where he had over 170 yards and 4 total touchdowns, leads me to believe that that's going to be a struggle for the Lions. So I will take the moral victory and the what's the game plan victory under the name of the Lions today, and prepare myself for a defeat in the actual game tomorrow.
All right. So in your victory speech, I think you kind of just segued into the next portion of it there. If you had to give this game a score, since I think you're going Vikings for the win here, if I assume correctly, what do you think the overall score would be?
Oh, I'm gonna say 28-17 in favor of the Vikings. I think the Lions, because Matthew Stafford still plays for the Lions, they're not going to get shut out. They will find a way into the end zone. And Matt Prater, although he struggled a bit from 50 yards, is arguably the best long distance kicker. So gives the Lions a chance to score points anywhere over midfield, essentially. So I'm going to say 28-17 in favor of Minnesota.
I got you. Justin, how about for yourself?
Oh man, I Well, just as we kind of referred to in this whole segment, the young Viking secondary, I feel like is going to struggle because Matt Stafford. I'm a pretty big fan of Matt Stafford, and I think he is pretty good. So I think that he's going to continue to exceed those expectations and really throw the ball really well against us. So I feel like the Vikings can still do it. Like they got a young defense, but their offense is starting to click. So if I'm looking at a prediction, I'm thinking we're probably going to be like 31-27, probably with the Vikings trying to hold off Stafford in the end for a fourth quarter game ending drive, because I feel like that's what always happens.
I got you. I got to say again, for me, the biggest thing is the divisional rivalry here. The Lions have had some opportunities earlier this year where they jumped out to early leads and they just weren't able to sustain them throughout the course of the game. Now, with Kirk Cousins as your quarterback, it may help them if they could jump out, because I don't see him playing out too many holes. But at the end of the day, I am praying for an exciting and safe and healthy game, right? We've seen way too many injuries this year so far. Trevor,
Absolutely.
as the winner, you will receive a shirt that says, "A Lions, hire me as a scout." All right, just for participating. Gentlemen, again, I thank you both for your time. I am Rod Murray. This has been another episode of What's the Game Plan? Thanks for watching.